Welcome
Welcome
to
to
Shade.
Shade in the City.
I am your girl Treese.
It's Nels.
And today, y'all, we are getting into our review of Married at First Sight, Season 16, Episode 9, Partying Ways. So, if you have not already, Shade Squad, please make sure that you've hit that like button.
And that subscribe button.
And y'all, let's get into it and let's get shady. We're picking up where we left off, guys, with Dom and Mac. They're sitting with Pastor Cal. He's pressing her to make a decision on whether she wants a divorce. And she says she does want to have a damn divorce. She ain't here for it. She don't want to do this no more. It's a lot of negative energy, and she's not here for it. And Mac says that this is very tough to hear. So Pastor Cal advises her that before she gets into another serious relationship, she needs to take her time doing all that she wants to do, and admits that maybe 25 was a little bit too young. You think? Now, he tells her not being mean, just keeping it real. And Dom doesn't agree. Now, he tries to explain that in a marriage or in a relationship, you're going to go through things and you fight for it. You don't just quit. He says for couples who have gotten through things like this, they're able to look back at the hurdles that they've overcome and continue to move forward. And sometimes you just have to jump over them. But anyway,
he basically quit at the first bump.
So he's let them know that their marriage ends there. And Max says that he's disappointed and let down and embarrassed. He wishes he had taken that money from his mama. They both apologize to each other. And Mac walks off camera because he gets emotional. You don't remember his mama offered him money to not do this process? She offered him like $50,000 to not do this. That's what makes me really feel like that really makes me believe the alleged narrative that he was relocating, jumping show to show. And I think his mama got, and like she was like, oh, he finally got picked for the show. All right, look, I will give you $50,000 if you don't sign up for this stupidness. Just don't do it. But Max says he's heartbroken.
Well, Dom, she went out with her mom, and her mom is actually disappointed as well. Because she had intentions on huh?
Disappointed in her or herself for signing up her daughter for the show, and she was
disappointed in herself. She disappointed in Dom.
Oh, okay.
She said she had intentions on finding her a lifelong partner. Now, her mom says she's pretty upset because she was looking forward to getting to know Mac better and wishes that she would have got a chance to, talk to him before everything went down. And Dom basically tells her it wouldn't have made no difference because, he got super petty after everything. And she let him know that he was super negative. He constantly complains, and she let him know that, well, he basically said that it was something he was going to work on. And she said she wasn't here to change nobody in this process.
I feel like the next guy she dates, her mom is not going to like him, and she's probably purposely going to stay with him just because this didn't work out. To be like, oh, mom, now I'm divorced behind you. So you know what? I'm not listening to you no more. Because again, she's still immature like that. Mm-hmm. I definitely see that being in her next relationship.
Her mom asked her if she could have done anything different, or maybe have been more patient. She said that she had enough time to realize that in her gut, this relationship was just not what she needed to be in. And Dom says that she is still dead set on her decision to get a divorce.
Then we get into Gina. She surprises us, y'all. She's decided to move in. Nels was right. I guess Pastor Cal put that pressure on her and she had no choice. Now, Clint is out with his homeboy, Andrew. They're playing Frisbee in the park. And he tells him about how Gina talked about the salon the whole honeymoon. Now, but he's ready to talk to him because Andrew has a wife and a child of his own. And he tells him about the issues with their physical attraction. Andrew thinks that, you can grow to love someone over time without the outside stresses, but in this rush process, he understands how that may be difficult for them. However, he is optimistic that they can fall in love without the physical. Anything to add?
I thought it was hilarious that he thinks it's hilarious. He's in love with Gina's dog Hank, and Gina's dog Hank is a redhead, and she supposedly don't like redheads, but
love that dog.
Love that dog. So they move into the apartment. Gina says she's super nervous, but Pastor Cow did have some valid points, which we do know. She says that she's lived by herself for the past 4 years, and she has her own routine. So she's nervous about bringing someone else in and accommodating their routine. Um, but she's going to give it her all in this process. Clint says that they decided that they're going to be staying in separate rooms, and they're not going to rush anything, and feels that
they're going to
things
see how
work
things
out
naturally flow.
exactly, naturally flow. Now, Gina and Clint had some friends and family over. Just based off the food, I'm telling you, this is the party I would have been to because the tacos was looking right.
Well,
Okay, the
apparently
tacos
Clint
was
is a low-key chef, which we did.
period. I chose the right house. Gina goes into the bedroom with Clint's friends, Melissa and Elizabeth, and Melissa tells her, if you can stop focusing on the things, that basically tell you apart, then basically maybe you guys can grow. Maybe you can continue with this relationship. Stop focusing on all the negative. Maybe she needs to sit down with Dom because, Miss Positivity over there could help her stop focusing on the negative.
Right.
Yeah.
Positivity. Oh, one
Gina,
thing I think we forgot to add. While Clint is an amazing cook, Gina over here, not only does she have a salon, and clearly she's the bartender at the salon. Okay. Just saying. She does multiple things.
so I was confused about that
She's
because
multifaceted.
I was confused because he didn't say she was a professional bartender. I think he said like she was a professional drinker.
No, he said she was a drink drink mixer. That would be like me. When you come in my house, I'm not a bartender, but you will get up if I make you a drink.
Yeah, don't have this girl make you no drink.
You will get up.
You'll be knocked out on her couch. Now Gina says that basically the positives with them outweigh the negatives, and she just felt like she was overthinking the whole moving in thing. So she feels like they're in a much better place. Now Clint is sitting down with Gina's friends, Ashley and Paige, and they want to know how it's really going. Okay. And he tells them that they've had some peaks and some valleys and they're taking it day by day. He says he feels that they're both in a place where, they can have a successful relationship and have the components to grow together. He also says he thinks that it is still just a little bit early and, they're just trying to figure things out. But they both sound pretty positive that, things are moving in the right direction.
And I think Ashley says that the physical may not be there, but get past that and everything will be great. That's apparently everybody's answer to everything. Eris sits down with
First, wait. Let's talk about the fact that Eris was outside walking Duchess. First of all,
he was outside walking Duchess. That was very cute.
I was super shocked. I mean, I get that they were walking together, but the fact that he was the one actually holding Duchess and walking Duchess, I was in complete shock.
So, yes, Eris was walking the dog with Jasmine, which is super cute. Then he goes to sit down with his cousin, Falina, whatever. And they catch up to discuss the honeymoon. He admits he's not attracted to Jasmine. Falina tries to tell him attraction isn't just physical. He loves the fact that he knows that she's dependable. And he expresses that there is no sexual attraction. And Falina tells him that it takes work. Now, Falina thinks Jasmine is fake. And she needs to speak up and express herself. And if Eris hurt her, she needs to say that.
I think she had a point with that.
Yeah, I give her that. He asked her if she'll attend their housewarming, and she said she's not interested in getting invested in something that she didn't believe in from the beginning. He's not sure what to do, and she tells him he should go home and have sex with his wife. Either you're going to be married and do what it takes to make your wife happy, or stop wasting your time, and you can walk out right now. And I think everything she said was straight, but every time she offers to walk out right now, it just seemed like it's off in the sunset together. It just don't feel right the way she presents it. Your thoughts?
I just felt like you just summed that up into just a whole little hater package. That was just like I had so much notes, and then the way you just summed it up in just to this little package of hate from Felina. I was like, well, damn, she got straight to the point. I mean, we got the message. She don't like the girl. And she ain't coming. So no, I ain't got nothing else to add. No, nothing as far as that goes. So Jasmine comes in from working Dutchess, and she's giving her husband, a heads up on the errand she has to do for the housewarming. And he says he wants them both to be comfortable. And yesterday he noticed while making the guest list that she refused to write down Felina's name. I said, oh, you shady little bitch. You shady. Mm-hmm. And Jasmine said, with everything being so fresh, that's not really the person that she's comfortable being around. And she doesn't want to be in the presence of someone who don't think she's genuine.
Period. Or doesn't respect her, just point blank, period.
Yes. Eris says that he did invite Felina, but she said she wasn't coming. So Jasmine's like, okay, well, obviously the feeling is mutual. So we good on that. He lets her know.
Why did he tell her that? Why did he think that would be conducive to them having a good relationship? Like, that's one of them things where it's like, you can't tell your partner everything, or you can't tell your family everything about what's going on in your relationship. Why did he think that would be conducive to them having a good relationship after this? I don't know. Shade Squad, drop down in the comments. Let us know.
The only thing I can think of is in that moment he was probably thinking more of Felina than he was his wife. And if anything,
that's Felina what I got too. That's what I got.
Felina would have been like, boy, I wasn't trying to go anyway, so why the hell you ain't tell her? Or you know what I'm saying? But more so he was thinking about Felina more in that situation than he was his wife.
But I don't think it helps to be like, oh, when she's like, well, she makes me feel uncomfortable. Well, she don't like you either. I don't know. Drop down in the comments. Am I nutty? I don't know.
Well, that's neither here nor there.
Oh, okay. Whether I'm nutty.
So he lets her know that, she's the type to stand 10 toes in her shit. And basically, if you ask her a question and you don't answer it the way she expects you to, you got to be given some scripted answer versus just answering the question the way you want to answer it. And he says that, it doesn't bother him. He knows who she is as a person. So her bluntness doesn't bother him. But, on the other hand, his wife just met her. So
you also not married to her either.
So then Jasmine's family, her sister Taylor and her Aunt Patricia show up.
Aunt Pat. You don't know about Aunt Pat? Auntie Pat. They talked about Auntie Pat in the beginning. Auntie Pat say what need to be said.
She did. She showed up there. She said what need to be said. As well as Eris's friends, Mike and Reggie. Now, Pat
I didn't know which one was Mike, and I didn't know which one was Reggie.
I realized later on after Reggie started talking.
I never figured it out.
Mike was the one that was initially talking. So Pat introduces Eris's friends to Dutchess and let them know that, he's like, that's one of her 4 dogs. Okay.
And he threw her under the bus early.
Yes, he did. And they don't really seem to be like dog people too much either. While Jasmine's over there talking about how much she sleep with these damn dogs, I'm telling you, Eris looked like he was turned off even more when she said it. Like, you sleep.
And I hate to say it, but Felina said it best. It's more than just physical attraction. She said it. because she realizes it's something, and I'm starting to feel it too. It's more than just her physical. It's something either, and I like I said, it may be because she comes off not weak, but like he wants more confidence, as we talked about. But yeah, it's not just the physical. It's something about her personality that he doesn't rock with.
Yeah. So Mike asked what has been the struggle. And they both say communication. He mentions that I'm sorry, what's his face? Eris mentions while making the guest list, there was a situation where she didn't want to write down Felina's name, and they didn't discuss it right then and there, and she waited until she left to send him a whole text about it. And he said that he would have preferred to have the conversation right there in that moment, which honestly made her seem pussy as fuck. Now, Jasmine says that she basically just didn't feel respected by her, and she doesn't want to be in her space because of that. And he says, they're two very important women in his life, and he would like for them to come together and get along, but it's still super early, so he understands he has to give them time. So the ladies take Eris into the bedroom to talk to him privately and want to know how he feels about sharing his space with his new wife. And he says, as of now, it hasn't been an issue, but it depends on, what happens after this, because them in a house with 4 dogs, like that definitely wouldn't work there. So they're going to need more space. Now, Pat asked how he would feel if she was willing to give up the dogs. And I started to say something that they got canceled for. Jesus Christ. He said that he would be super excited.
I
um,
said static, but okay.
yeah, I started to say something else. Not for Duchess. He's okay with Duchess, but he said the rest could go. And I was like, look at him changing his tune, because before he just wanted the puppy. Now he willing to trade out the puppy for Duchess. I guess because Duchess is already potty trained. He like, she good to go.
No damn dogs.
You said what?
No damn dogs. That's why he was like, she get rid of all of them.
Now, Pat asks what his expectations are. He says that he feels like, they need a plan. Otherwise, they're just kind of like going to be two ships passing in the night, going to work and living their lives. And she said, she ride or die for her niece. And she knows that she's all in. And she want to know that he's all in as well. And he says they're going to try and see where it
Right. He
goes.
can't give her that.
And the look on her face was like, sir, did you really just say that after marrying my niece? Okay. So Reggie is out in the living room talking to
Jazz.
Jess and asked her what are some of her concerns about the marriage. And she says that they ain't having sex. And says, they're not trying to rip each other's clothes off. And he let her know that he's a very, very sexual person. Reggie asked if she believes that the experts chose right putting them together. And she says yes, because they do have a lot of things in common. They just have to continue to be honest and work over the hurdles that they were dealt. Good luck with that, honey.
Nicole sits down with her friend Julianne. She talks about how Chris is an amazing guy and everything a woman could have asked for. She also realizes that this is the type of guy, and this is why I say me and Nicole relate so well, she would have ran away from. It's too much for her. He's too nice. However, being in this space of being forced to stick with him, she feels like she's learned to appreciate those things that might have annoyed her before. She likes how he compliments her every second. However, he does it so much that she questions whether it's genuine or not. And she's concerned, I'm sorry, that she'll end up being the butthole in their relationship. Julianne doesn't think that she knows Chris well enough to make a judgment yet. And she thinks that, he sounds great. And she can see Nicole opening up more and becoming more vulnerable. Then they have planned a Let's Flamingo theme for their party. Nicole said she wants a Hawaiian beach where her friends can mingle. He tries to suggest, I thought this was important because he tried to suggest his buffalo chicken and she shuts him down and says, no, 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 no. I want to stay with the theme. You're messing up the theme. That was some shit I would do. And she then buys him a flamingo shirt that she wants him to wear And he respectfully declines and says, no, I'm not doing that shit.
You're an idiot.
Oh, so we're getting into the housewarming.
Yes. I thought it was funny that everybody was proud of him for respectfully declining to
Right.
wear the shirt. She was proud of him, but she had to pull it out of him.
Right. Because he's a yes man.
Yes, he is. Now her friends took Chris to the bedroom to give him some tips on how to not let Nicole bully him.
Right.
Okay. He says things are going a lot better than he expected. There are some things that he did realize she gets upset easily about, but he likes that she's super strong and opinionated. Are you still with me?
Yes, I'm still with you. I told you.
You said what?
I told you I'd be right back. I was like, just
Oh, I didn't hear that. And he says when she does have issues, it hasn't been towards him, and he's really not sure how that's going to go. And Julianne lets him know that, yeah, because you really don't seem like a fighter. So,
my
um, you said what?
my sentiments are the same.
Hmm. He lets her friends know that.
And he says Nicole needs someone, and I hate. I know people hate when women say this. You need someone to check you. You need someone, but you do want to kind of feel like I don't want to be with somebody I can just do anything or walk all over.
I think the word challenge was a good word
Yeah.
for her. Um, and he let her know that basically she does get a little bit annoyed with him when he's always trying to do everything to make her happy. And her friends let him know that she does need someone to challenge her because she's strong, and tell him to not be a freaking pushover.
Mm.
Okay. So Brandon, Chris's brother, and Devontae, his friend, are ready to jump right into grilling Nicole. Devontae asks if they've had any arguments yet. She says no, but she has noticed that he is constantly trying to appease her. And she knows, in his past relationship, he's been walked all over. So she's very conscious of it. But how often can you say, really? What do you think? What do you think? Really? What do you think? Like, how often can you, try to pull it out of him? And I completely understand that.
Right.
Now, Brandon asked her if she's looking to make her own decisions or is she willing to compromise. She says she's very open to compromising, and says it doesn't make her happy when he's only doing things to benefit her while he's secretly miserable.
Amen to
But
that.
she needs him to be vocal so that she can compromise.
Right. Speak up.
Oh,
What we say, closed mouth don't get fed.
period.
So Kirsten and Shaq, they're preparing for their housewarming.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's talk about the fact he was on his husbandly duties. He was on his job fixing his wife's tire. Okay, I don't know why. I just thought that was like super. I don't know. I thought that was cute. That was cute. I was
He was doing the I get it. Yes.
I was like, okay, Shaq. Oh,
I get it.
okay.
I gotta fight with somebody just take out the damn garbage. So I get it. It's a turn on. It's a turn.
Yeah, I was like, I had to put that down.
So they are preparing for their housewarming and they're still decorating when their guests walk in. Her and Shaq invited two of their married couple friends, as they thought it would be a great vibe to get advice from married couples who are in love and doing well. So the friends asked how the honeymoon was, and Kirsten tells them that they had a great time. When they asked whether they've consummated the marriage, she said there was no consummation, just conversation. I
Mm-hmm.
said, well, if that don't sound like something you would say in church. Her friends even pick up on the fact they haven't even kissed yet. She then says she's not a good kisser, and that's why she wasn't kissing him. Bullshit. And her cousin thinks that she needs to allow Shaquille to be the judge of that. Agreed. They toast to love and kissing, which apparently nobody is doing except the other married couples that, have been here for a while. So Shaq says he's trying to, respect Kirsten's boundaries and knows that she doesn't enjoy kissing. However, it's something that he, enjoys and hopes that eventually she'll compromise as well. Now, Kirsten has a one on one with his cousin, I believe it was Tasha, and her husband, Christian. and talks about how she knows it's taking her a while to open up, and she does worry Shaquille will, kind of get discouraged. And Shaq asks her cousin Takina, I believe it was, and her husband did not get his name.
Glenn.
What is it?
Glenn.
Glenn. If he's being too patient with her, and should he speed things up or should he slow it down? And she advises him to figure out what she needs and when. Shaq says he understands attraction grows, but wonders how long can they keep basically moving forward without her having any type of physical attraction? Like, basically, what do you like about me? And she tells him the goal is to get past the 8 weeks. She admits there is more room for them to connect, and notices that they're on a friendship level and that they need to get past that. Now, her husband advises that he needs to let the chemistry build through intention. And Shaq's cousin Christian says he and Tasha were friends and not physically attracted to each other until one day it just flipped.
He's seen what a beautiful person she was.
Right. And he said, and his cousin thinks that they have great potential and thinks it's good that they didn't come in a perfect package. So everybody's rooting for Kirsten and Shaq like we were before they saw, because they ain't seen what happened yet. We saw what happened. They ain't see what happened yet.
Mm-hmm. So everyone gets together, including Mac and Dom. I was shocked to see them there. Although he says he's not excited to see her, bless you.
Thank you.
Since they've decided to get divorced, and they have to let the other couples know what they decided. So he is not, he ain't feeling that.
Okay,
now they cheer.
I'm not to cut you off.
What?
I wonder who put this together. Was it Married at First Sight? Or was it Nicole?
Oh, I would have thought it was Married at First Sight.
You could have fooled me. Nicole thanks them all for being there and wants to toast to good marriages.
Mm-hmm.
Nicole took over as the host. You couldn't have told me.
Uh-huh.
Don't do that.
And yeah, basically they want to know how everyone's housewarming went. Gina said Clint is an amazing cook, and she was impressed with the fact that their housewarming party was all women and just him, and he was killing it still. She says it makes her comfortable to have all her salon girls over there with no problem. And he's like, yeah, I'll be putting in extensions before you know it. Period, Clint. He says that they've come a long way, and he's really
I like Brawny. I don't know.
I like him too. And I like redheads anyway, so I ain't got no problem with the redhead, with the ginger, okay? And he said he's really trying to dive deep and find out everything, including the crusty little bits. Ain't this?
It was meant to be sweet, but then Nicole was like,
Nicole was like, normally that wouldn't, crusty and romantic doesn't go in the same, but you know what? You did a good job with that. You did good.
That was the most romantic thing you ever said to her.
Uh-huh. Now, Mac asked if anyone has sex yet. And Chris and Nicole reveal, of course,
I just hate it. It's not that I'm mad that the question came up. I'm mad because Mac was the one to ask it. You clearly.
He's like, I'm here. I'm going to join in on the conversation.
I guess so. He said it might be. Look, I'm going to live this night like it's my last.
And Eris is just happy to know that Nicole got her back blown out. But little does he know, okay? Nicole said she was spinning from the ceilings. And, actually, the next day, Chris's back was hurting because she blew that back out.
Okay.
Clint asked about Eris and Jasmine, and they said no, they're not getting frisky. Maybe some occasional kisses. She says she's
was clearly bothered by this. You could tell it was irritating her soul.
I think it helped that everybody else joined in. I think it helped that other people joined in too, though.
Yeah, no, I think Gina saw it and was like, "You're not the only one," because she was clearly bothered. She was like, "No, we ain't got no sex. No, he ain't touched me."
Yeah, she says that she's sexually attracted to him, but he's not there yet.
He won't feel me or caress me. He won't do none of that shit.
But basically, they both say that this is new territory for them. You know, she's never been in a situation where she had to initiate anything. And he says he's never been in a situation where he ain't wanted. Why you say it like that though? Jesus. And Gina, yes, she let them know that they are not the only ones. They can sit down on the couch. They got all kumbaya about it because they all in the same boat. Shaq third that, and he's like, yeah, because Kirsten over here, she wasn't attracted to me either. Now she rubbing my bald head all the time.
Well, they
And
just try to reassure him that you're gonna go through.
exactly, exactly. And he says that the attraction will grow. And of course, with Mac and Dom there, everybody want to know what's going on with them because they over there sitting in the corner super quiet. And Mac says they both know what they want and they've made a decision to get divorced. Dom says that she feels that there was a bit of confusion when she made some comments and made her feel like, you know, he wasn't happy. And she doesn't like negativity, and she felt like it was just best to cut things off before everything turns toxic. And he says, no, he don't agree. He was definitely blindsided. And he said he had faith in the process, and he really, you know, felt worn down and belittled after everything happened at the honeymoon. And he says that he knows that he's not perfect. He knows that he has changes to make, which, you know, he tries to work on all the time. But he feels like there was no compromise on her side, only coming from him. Clint says throwing in the towel is the easiest thing to do and challenges them to take a step back because he thinks that there could be something there if they're willing to stick it out. Nicole tells them that she likes them both and she really likes them as a couple and tells Dom that she's going to regret not even trying and asks her, is there a scenario? Huh?
Playing devil's advocate. That's when I
Mhm.
said Nicole is my white evil to Italian sister
You so sick from another mister.
from another mister.
And she also asked, is there any scenario where we're taking some time apart and starting fresh could help? And she says, maybe. Eris jumps up. He's like, cheers to maybe. Yeah.
And I don't know why, because once they get back to their apartment, Dom is like, so how did you feel about that? And you know, Mac is not here for the back and forth. You know, and he's just like, I think it went well, but were you honest? Like, are you seriously, was it a real maybe? And she's like, no, not really. I was just putting on
It was just pure pressure.
peer pressure. And he says, like, you know what? She wants to play a young woman, young man's game, and I'm not here for playing it. So yeah, no, basically she said she's not interested in continuing, and she said that we can be friends. And he's like, I'm not trying to be your friend.
Period.
Dom was like, well, you don't have to be rude. Um, but you know, she just doesn't want to deal with it. And he believes Dom is young and still doesn't know what she wants and doesn't know what a serious relationship takes nor needs. And Dom said she feels like she's been pushed to her limits and doesn't care if he wants to be friends after this. And you know, he feels like he didn't get enough time and is still looking for his forever love.
Well,
Well, that wraps it up. We are down one couple. We knew it was coming. We just didn't know who it would be. And I'm surprised because I thought it was Gina and Clint. And I must say, there was a very cute meme today where I guess I have mis what is the word that I'm looking for? Characterized Gina because the new Alyssa point oh goes to Dom. It goes to Dom. She didn't want to be here. She wasn't gonna play it. She wasn't gonna deal with it. Hey, I ain't mad at it. At least she didn't even say, let me stay just to be spent.
exactly. At least she said, you know what, I'm out the process. I'm moving out. That girl just wanted the benefits without doing the work.
Mm. Well, y'all, we will catch y'all next week for another review of Married at First Sight. If you have not already, please make sure that you hit that like button.
You comment.
You subscribe.
And you hit the notification bell.
And y'all make sure you're following us on all the platforms, so the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook, and the IG. And get ready to watch me celebrate and party. So yes, because it's Pisces.
For her birthday.
Yes. Thank you guys, and we will catch you next week for another review. Have a good night.
Good night.